Build, what is up? Welcome to Build. I'm your host, Matt Forte. We are here live at the Build Studio in New York City. St. Jude is leading the way. The world understands, treats, and defeats childhood cancer and other life-threatening diseases. Consistent with the vision of their founder, Danny Thomas, no child is denied treatment based on race, religion, or a family's ability to pay. And with the holiday season upon us, there is no time like the present to get involved and give support. Joining us here in just a few short moments, daughter of founder Danny Thomas, that's right, Marlo Thomas, St. Jude's National Outreach Director is here, as well as Greg Scott, CEO of New York & Company, and Abraham Cano Talavera, the father of a St. Jude patient, is with us. A round of applause for our panel real quick, please. I'm excited all three of them are here. We're going to have a great time here on stage and have a wonderful conversation. We'll bring them out in just a second. But first, before we do, I believe we have a video from St. Jude. So let's go ahead and run that clip.
She should be holding a doll, not an IV.
He should be having candy, not chemo.
They should be playing outside, not hurting inside.
Thanks to you, St. Jude Children's Research Hospital is changing how the world treats and defeats childhood cancer.
We freely share our science and help find cures and save kids with cancer everywhere.
St. Jude has helped push the overall childhood cancer survival rate from 20% to 80%.
We won't stop until no child dies of cancer.
And no family pays St. Jude for anything.
Because all the family should worry about is helping their child live.
So if you have healthy children, give thanks.
Give thanks.
Da las gracias.
Give thanks.
Give thanks for the healthy kids in your life and give to those who are not. Donate now at stjude.org or shop wherever you see the St. Jude logo.
Ladies and gentlemen, please make a round of applause. Join me in welcoming Marlo here, Greg, and Abraham from St. Jude's. Marlo, welcome back. I'm so excited to have you on the stage once again. Greg, it's wonderful to have you here. And Abraham, thank you for being here and also bringing your beautiful family with you and sharing with us today. It's just so wonderful to have everybody here. We're going to have a wonderful conversation and talk about this incredible organization. So how's everybody doing? How are we doing today? How's Tuesday going? Yeah.
There's the star of our show right there.
Can we get a quick shot on Abraham right here? Abraham. Yeah, round of applause. This little superhero. Do you want to come up? You want to hang out with us, buddy? Come on up.
Dude, hi.
So Abraham's going to hang out with us for a little bit.
There you go.
Oh, fantastic. I love that sweater. Can I tell you something, buddy? I almost wore the exact same sweater. I almost wore that. Yeah, it looks way better on you, though. You're rocking it. Marlo, let's start with you. I'm so glad you guys are here. But for those the uninitiated, those may not be as well-informed as we are here, just a little bit about St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital and what makes it unique.
Well, what makes St. Jude unique is that, first of all, nobody pays to go to St. Jude. They don't pay for anything, not housing or food or treatment or travel. As this family will tell you, St. Jude Children's Research Hospital pays for everything. But what makes it most unique is that we're a research center and a treatment center under one roof. So every child has both a scientist and a doctor working on their case. It gives them the absolute best chance of saving this child's life. And also, we have the proton beam. Did Abraham have the proton beam? We're the only hospital in the world that has a proton beam created for children. And what that means is it's the smallest beam on the planet, one of the scientists explained to me, so that when the beam goes in the child's brain, and I think Abraham has medulloblastoma, it doesn't touch any of the healthy tissue, just the tumor itself. And that is a huge breakthrough because that means that none of the healthy tissue is touched, so we don't have the problems of motor disability or learning disability. This is a big thing.
There's a lot of stuff in there that I want to unpack. The unique and special technology that we have because of St. Jude's, and also the fact that you don't have to pay and you don't have to worry about any of that. A lot of that is possible and made possible through the support that the organization gets.
Well, you know, America funds St. Jude.
Yeah.
You know, we are not-for-profit, and we don't have any paying customers. Yeah. So it costs $2.8 million a day to run St. Jude. So that means that we have to get 78% of our funds from the public. where an average for-profit hospital only has to get 8% of their funds. So we really are, America really is the whole lifeblood of St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, the American donor.
And to that end, Greg, New York and Company, you guys have been strong supporters for years. I want to say at least 10 years, because in the past 10, I was reading this, $30 million. $30 million. And I'll hold for applause, $30 million. I mean... So just share a little bit about how that partnership started and how you guys have managed to support year after year and do these wonderful things.
I mean, it started in 2008, really because our associates really wanted to do it. And they really wanted to support St. Jude for everything that Marlo said. And now, 10 years later, every year we continue to raise the bar. Yeah. And it's easy because our customers, our associates, everybody's passionate about it. Why? Because everything Marlo said. It's about children with cancer, and that St. Jude makes sure that they pay for it so that parents can focus on the child. And I think also what's incredibly important is that they share the research. Yeah. And it's such an easy story, and people donate graciously. And it really is great for the company as well because people want to give back. And we're a company for women. I'm not a woman, but you know, like 60% of our management team is women, 50% of our board is women, 80% of our associates are women. Women, children, and family really resonates with our customer and our associates. So it's actually not work. It's actually something people love to do.
Yeah.
Right now, one of the big campaigns that's been going on for at least, I want to say at least 15 years ago, you started the Thanks and Giving. Do you want to tell us a little bit about Thanks and Giving?
Oh, I'd love to.
Yeah.
Well, Thanks and Giving, it's when we ask America to give thanks for the healthy kids in your life and give to those who are not. And that's really such a simple idea because we all know that we're just one phone call away from some very bad news about any member of our family. And so you look at your kids and think, thank God, I'm going to give thanks for these children and help other families who are not in the same position right now. And also, it's that time of year we're all buying presents and candy and food and everything for our family and friends. But their children at St. Jude and their moms and dads are fighting for their lives. So we have to remember them. We want to remember them. And so when you go to these different wonderful stores, Williams-Sonoma and Best Buy and Kmart and K Jewelers and Domino's Pizza and, of course, New York and Company, and they're going to ask you to leave a little donation for the children of St. Jude. So even if it's $1 or $5, every little penny counts, especially because nobody pays at St. Jude. So what you pay is paying for Abraham to get better.
You know, it's one of those things. My grandmother and my mother-in-law's grandmother, this is like passed down to the family. You feel like, especially nowadays at the cash register, you get asked, oh, $1 for this, $1 for that. St. Jude's has historically within the family always been, she goes, you always give. We always give to St. Jude's. We've always done that.
God bless you.
And, well, of course, and for all the reasons outlined, you know, you want to support in all the things you described. And you were just mentioning a moment ago all the different partners. I believe we have a fantastic graphic that illustrates what I mean, look at all of these.
Right.
This number has grown over the years.
Absolutely. It grows every year. This year we've added Pier 1 and someone else. I forgot which the other one.
It's somewhere in here.
Yeah.
We've got so many.
Yeah, we do. And I'm working on 3 new ones for next year. The whole idea is we want America to get together and take care of which is really America's hospital. We call it America's hospital because the children come from all over America, and also the money comes from all over America. So when we go, I mean, you all are from Iowa, right? So, right. So when I go to St. Jude, they're from Iowa, they're from Ohio, Florida, Bolivia. I mean, they're from everywhere. And it's a blessing for me. I go about 4 or 5 times a year, and I meet families when they first arrive terrified with their children because all they know is their child has cancer. The doctor said they're not sure that they'll make it. It's terrifying. And then I'll come back 6, 7 months later and see a little kid like Abraham doing great, running around, playing. He's in his 2nd round of now going into chemo. He's had his radiation. I mean, there's a real happiness about the fact that this is a little boy who's going to be okay.
Abraham, would you mind sharing a little bit of just your family's journey and what it's been like and the role St. Jude's has played for you guys?
Yeah, we're so grateful that St. Jude accepted my son.
And you guys are from Iowa, right?
Yes, correct.
And where are you guys currently staying right now?
We're staying in Memphis, Tennessee, in the Target House.
They live there now.
Because that's where the treatment
Yes,
is, right?
exactly. And the Target Corporation, which is one of our partners, built Target houses. And the Tridel sorority built another house, and we have another house that's now being built. So we can put up about 300 families for free. Wow. And it's important because they sometimes stay for a year, 2 years, or they'll stay for 6 months, go home for 4 weeks, I think, which is what you all did. Okay, so whatever it is, we take care of it. That's what my father promised.
Real quick, I just if we can get a mic, little man, Abraham, little guy, how you holding up? I know this is 4 adults talking, which is really exciting for you. How are you doing over there, buddy?
Good.
You doing good? I saw you were doing like a little dance. You all right? You feeling good right now? Yeah. We're not being too boring for you.
He's being quiet now, but he's quite the chatterbox.
I saw when we met downstairs, he gave me a fist bump, almost took my wrist right off. It was amazing. All right, thank you. I appreciate you, Abraham. I want you to know that. All right? I appreciate you hanging in there and putting up with me. Marlo, let me ask you something. We talk about how this has grown over the years. I wrote down this incredible fact that from 1962 to today, the overall childhood cancer survival rate has gone from 20% to more than 80 because of treatments invented at St. Jude's, which is remarkable, and I think we should applaud for that. 20 to 80%. That's wild, number one.
And, you know, that's on the average because with acute lymphoblastic leukemia, which is the most common form of cancer in kids, we have a 94% survival rate. Yeah. Now, when my father opened the doors in 1962, there was only a 4% survival rate. So we've gone up to 94% survival rate. And now that last 6%, that's what makes St. Jude so great. That's what we're working on now because of our research, because of our laboratories. You know, our research is as strong as our care. You know, we're getting a combination of the two, and we share that freely and immediately with the scientific and medical community worldwide. My brother Tony always says that our laboratories may not be in your community, but our discoveries are. So they're going everywhere. And that makes me very proud. You know, we don't hoard any information. It's out. When my dad first founded the hospital, that was one of his promises. But in 1962, there wasn't an internet. Yeah. It had to go out through journals. Now,
that's what I was really curious about is how the methods of getting the word out and how raising awareness has evolved and changed over the years.
Exactly.
For you, as someone
well, one of the greatest things is, of course, it's easier to fundraise that way, but it's even better that medically and scientifically this information is getting out quickly so that scientists in someplace else in the world could build on what we're doing. You know, the whole point is to save every single child. And now our most exciting thing, we've just opened our global initiative with the World Health Organization, and we're the leaders of 200 hospitals all over the world that are going into low-income and middle-income countries where the children there are dying at 80%. We have an 80% survival rate. They're dying at 80%. So a kid who has cancer in those middle and lower-income countries, they have a very low chance of making it, and we'd like to get that up to even 60%, you know, in the next 10 years.
Greg, is that, you know, I mean, maybe this goes without saying, but is that part of why you feel sort of a responsibility, not just as an individual, but as a corporation to be a part of this, be a part of the solution? Like, where does that come from, and why is that important to you?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, I have to say I'm super excited again and re-energized after listening to Marlo today. I'm like, I needed that. Like, okay, I'm ready to go back. I'm going to be in like 50 stores over the next 3 weeks. So like, I'm all across the country. So this is really going to help me go, and it's really exciting. I think, you know, I had a mentor early on who said, you know, you have to build a cathedral. And we make clothes, kind of like whatever, people wear clothes, but it's really about making women look good and feeling great. And part of that is their community, their health, and their family. And I think that's about it. So people have to believe they're working for a greater good, not just making clothes. And I think that's really a part of the organization. People want to work for New York & Company because, one, we're doing something for women, but also because we're helping the community. And St. Jude is a huge part of that for us. And it's super important, and people love it. The favorite time of year for New York and Company is Mother's Day and Christmas and the holidays. And not just because of the holidays, but because those are the 2 times a year we really do our Thanksgiving. We do it as everyone does during a holiday, but we also during Mother's Day. Mother's Day is a huge time for us, and we've added that event, and it's been amazing for us.
You know, I want to get into, we've talked about all these big events, these big campaigns. Let's talk about how people watching at home right now and people in this room right now can get involved and how they can be a part of it as well. Obviously, we can do a little donation when we go to a store and they say, do you want to tack on? But tell us more. There's Thanksgiving. There's This Shirt Saves Lives. There's a lot of great things going on.
And there's stjude.org. Yep. You can go and donate right there, right this minute. You can call 1-800-4-ST-JUDE with the 4, or the number 4. You can text, though I don't know the text by heart, but you'll find it on the stjude.org website. But most important is just to look into your own heart and say, okay, I'm having a good time. I'm healthy. My kid is healthy. We're buying presents. We're eating candy. We're doing all the wonderful things. There is something else we can do, and that's to give from our hearts to other families who need us right now. That to me is the spirit of Christmas and Hanukkah and all of the great religions who are, celebrating. And I know Hanukkah's over, but it's never really over.
Never really. We're gonna in just a minute turn it over. We got a couple of audience questions, but with all the great stuff that's going on and all the amazing things right now, what are you looking forward to in the future? What do you hope to see down the road?
For St. Jude?
For St. Jude's, yeah.
Well, that we keep squeezing those percentages. That wherever we have, an 80% or a 65% or a 94%, that we keep figuring that out, and that's through science. The science is the absolute king. What our scientists come up with, and then are able to work with the doctors to try this on these other children. That's everything. And that's what's so exciting, because most hospitals, very good hospitals in this country, and we collaborate with most of them, but they're just working on what they know. We're working with what nobody knows, because we're a research center. And that's why it's in the name, St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. So we're researching as well as caring. That's very important. That's key to who we are and what differentiates us from every other hospital.
Greg, what do you hope for down the road with your partnership with St. Jude and for New York and Company? And what are you looking forward to down the road?
So many things. I think, for us, it's about finding great new ways to continue to work with St. Jude in innovative ways. And to really continue to energize both our associates and our customers. Because it's a lot about our customers, obviously. They're the ones who give, and they're the ones who love it. I was in Miami this weekend in one of our stores, and a woman in front of me donated $1,000. I mean, it's like, wow.
We only asked for $1.
Yes, and she donated $1,000, and
$1 and up.
And it's just, and our stores all send emails with customers who are donating 100, 500, because they just love it, and they love what we do. So for me, it's just finding new and innovative ways to work with St. Jude. I think also it's continuing to just grow as an organization, and as growing as an organization, it means growing with philanthropy as well, because that's incredibly important both to this generation and future generations. And what makes organizations great is not just the clothes and the money we make, but really it's what we're doing for the community and the people that we serve.
It's amazing. Abra, do you guys celebrate Christmas or?
Yes,
yeah.
we do.
Has he gotten a chance to see Santa yet? Has he gotten a chance?
Oh, yes, he did. And,
he has. All right, I'm just gonna put it out there. Santa watches this show, Abraham. So if you want to just quickly take the microphone and reiterate whatever it is you wanted Santa to bring you, what are you hoping for under the tree this year, little man? What are you thinking?
Legos.
Legos? All right. I hope you guys got room at home. You are going to get so many.
Watching Santa, Abraham wants Legos.
Yes, there it is. The word is out. All right, we've got 2 questions from the audience, it looks like. Let's do our first one. Come right on down. Let's hear it.
Hi. Was there a moment where you could see that you were really making a difference?
Well, I could see what?
That you were, really making a difference?
You can feel that you were making a difference. You could see it. It was tangible for the first
absolutely.
time. Yeah.
Well, that's what I say when I go to St. Jude and I see a family, and I see a scared little kid and a scared mom and dad, and then I come back and I see somebody that's ready to go home, healthy and whole. It means so much to me. It makes it all worthwhile. All the traveling, all the going on these shows, you know, dragging these little kids against their will. Because I always like a St. Jude child to be with me or with any of us because they're the story. You know, I can talk and talk, but when you see a real live child that pretty much looks like one of your children, you know, and know that that child has lost his hair, has been through a treatment that difficult and brutal, and that he's going to be okay. That's it. There is nothing else. I mean, he is the reason my father built St. Jude. Yeah. There's no other reason.
Great question. Thank you for that. So we're going to do one more. We've got time for one more audience question. Come right on down.
Hi. Thank you guys so much for being here. I guess my first question is, I had it. How would you like to see St. Jude's expand and evolve over the next year? And then I guess, Abraham, for both of you, while you're in New York City, I guess I'm wondering, what do you guys have planned? Do you have any exciting things that you plan to do while you're here?
Shop, I guess. Yeah. Give my son something from, souvenir, something.
Did you see the tree?
Yeah, you gotta see the tree, right?
Yeah, we're gonna visit that once again, and the Statue of Liberty. Take a lot of pictures.
All the hits.
Yeah, everything.
Go to Times Square for a couple of minutes. Get right out of Times Square. Be a real New Yorker then. And Marlo, how do you hope to see things evolve, you said?
Yes.
Grow?
Well, I think this new global initiative is really where we're going right now. I mean, if we can make a difference in these kids around the world that only have an 80% chance of survival, if we can make a dent in that, imagine, that then we're really doing something, taking it out of America and taking it to the world. That, to me, is very exciting.
That's great. Thank you for your questions. You guys are a wonderful audience. Thank you so much. I want to thank Marlo Thomas, of course, for being here. I want to thank Greg for joining us. And, of course, Abraham, thank you so much, again, for sharing your beautiful family and being here with us and hanging out with us. I hope you get all the Legos and you have the best time in New York. I'm going to remind everybody watching real quick, for all the stuff that we mentioned, of course, you've got stjude.org. Go right there. You'll see a Get Involved tab that you can click on, and you can literally get involved. You can, whenever you're out shopping and they ask if you want to donate, you don't have to stop at $1. You can go up from there, all right? So go ahead, use your discretion. And if you don't already, follow at St. Jude on social media. I was following them on Twitter. They just had an amazing marathon, a lot of great pictures from that. It's a really great account to follow. So follow, get involved, be a part of it, and thank you once again. Round of applause, everybody, please, for Marlo, Greg, and Abraham. Thank you.